Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's June 21st, and right now we are looking at the combination of Doppler radars across the Pacific Northwest. You can see the wraparound moisture and the spin in the atmosphere here all the way across Alberta, Canada, into British Columbia, Western Washington, Portland. Your turn is coming here as this precipitation is sagging south as we go through the morning. It's going to make it very difficult to climb out of the 50s today, maybe setting an all-time record low high temperature for Portland International Airport. Right now it's moderately raining here at SeaTac, I believe, and some of my weather stations were showing some heavy rain at times, already 0.28 inches of precipitation in the bucket. And then you can see the general thunderstorm risk here. We got some winter weather advisories across the higher terrain. Just a reminder that those raw conditions are continuing across the Cascades. Probably don't need me to tell you at this point, but there is some snow flying across some of the higher peaks out there as well. A little bit of a marginal risk there for some excessive rainfall right across portions of northwest Montana. If you look at that pink there's actually some winter storm warnings for the northern Rockies of Montana as well. Now, we're going to go ahead here and take a look at the infrared satellite imaging. You can see the upper level low kind of spinning over the Pacific Northwest here. But again, some areas may not do too bad this afternoon as some of this precipitation cuts off again from north to south across the region. Now, taking a look at lightning strikes over the last 24 hours. Western Washington did indeed get a few lightning strikes. Same thing with Western Oregon towards the Portland Metro, Willamette Valley. And you can see off to the northeast of Lake Chelan, a bit more intense lightning activity was occurring there. Now, this is the SPC. This is the general thunderstorm risk here for today. Got to go all the way across Montana for some of these stronger storms, a wind and a hail threat, even a tornado threat kind of clipping northeast Montana also. And this is day two. With this trough around, we can't rule out a thunderstorm here still across the Washington Cascades, northeast Washington, portions of Idaho, northeast Montana, and northwest Montana, and portions of British Columbia. Fire danger, this is good. This is really beneficial here across the region as far as fire conditions are concerned, so at least we can put that to rest here for a few days. Now, the Tempest Weather Station, mine has picked up about 0.28 so far this morning. Got a haptic rain gauge that actually measures the raindrops hitting, and it can tell you if it's raining heavily versus light or whatnot. It's got a lightning detection system. It's got an ultrasonic anemometer. Very fun stuff here. It's all solar powered. You will not regret buying this weather station. Click on the link down below to save 10% off. And also the Patreon page here, you can go to it as well, and you get my recent updates. You can send me images if you like on the community tab also. Now, 500 millibar heights, you can see where we are this morning. Let me scroll ahead there a little bit. We're actually right about here now, and you can kind of see this trough carved out nicely across the region. But as we scroll through the upcoming week, that is going to eventually move off to the east there. We try to nose this region just very temporarily, but it's not going to last because we got another trough as we go on through the day Tuesday. And you can kind of see that hanging out. May bring some light precipitation with it as we continue on the mid portion of the week. But we got some changes coming after that as well. You're going to want to see this here in the extended forecast in a moment. Looking at the European, this is a wider view of things. This is not the anomaly. This is just the general heights at 500 millibars. So again, you can kind of see the trough carved out over the Pacific Northwest here. That's going to continue to move off to the east for the next few days. And then our next trough starts to move down across the Gulf of Alaska, Western Canada. And again, no heat dome coming through the midweek period coming up here. And then we got 6 days. You can kind of see the trough still hanging out here for the Pacific Northwest. Now, this is the soundings Quileute. This is looking at the upper levels of the atmosphere. I stopped it here at 700 millibars, about 10,000 feet. The daily minimum for June 21st was about negative 8.4 Celsius. At 10,000 feet for Quileute, Washington. And you can see where we were yesterday, right around that negative 8 marker there. And so some of the coldest air, ever recorded there at 10,000 feet on June 20th, June 21st, right around that time frame. So yeah, pretty chilly upper level low, pretty rare for this time of year. Near record low temperatures there above us there at 10,000 and 18,000 feet. Now, let's take a look at the lightning flash density potential here on the high resolution rapid refresh as we go through the day today. You can see some of these thunderstorms across Oregon. There may be some thunderstorms across British Columbia here as we go through this evening tonight. It shows this one cell coming across Bellingham and down towards the Strait there, and maybe out towards Port Townsend there, but we'll see how that goes. Not a big signal with that. And then as we go through the day on Sunday, you can see some of these storms popping up, maybe near Lake Chelan, maybe the east slopes of the Cascades of Washington, northeast Washington as well. We got to watch out for this as we go through the day tomorrow. That's Sunday afternoon, Lake Chelan again, Wenatchee, maybe down towards Ellensburg as well. and maybe even kind of creeping out towards Moses Lake as we go through the afternoon and the evening hours. As this upper level low, you can see the spin in the atmosphere continues to push off to the east. Now, the composite reflectivity, this is the North American model 12Z run. I believe it is running. This data is loading as we speak. But here we go, doing a pretty good job with precipitation here this morning. You can see as we go through this morning, of course, here in the next couple hours, Portland going to be increasing there. Hillsboro, Salem, McMinnville, Colville, Eugene, nice rainy day coming up here Saturday. You don't have to get out there and water the garden because look at some of that moderate rain just kind of hanging out for a few hours here as we go through the afternoon hours. But I also want to back this up a little bit here. And you can see this shows right around 1 p.m. It starts to end for Seattle. Of course, north to south, you start to get a break in that precipitation. You may salvage half a day out of this for some areas. And then as we go on in through the day Sunday, you see some of these showers still flying around out there. It doesn't show it being too heavy on the North American. Well, I might have spoken too soon there. Right near OMAC there as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. Could have some prolific lightning producers with some of this activity here. Kind of isolated there, but there it is. And maybe moving over Spokane as we go through the nighttime hours. And then we're going to worry about the rest later. So this is my house here. Look at it. It's actually still raining heavily at my house. Look at that 0.36 inches of precipitation that is building up. Had about 500 of an inch yesterday. You can see the wind. You can see the lightning last detected there. The barometer right now, that is off. Ignore that reading right now. But you can see the temperature out there, 50.2. So yeah, very fun weather station. It's been raining for 210 minutes, over 3 hours. Now, looking at the 24-hour precipitation totals, again, you can kind of see it ending from north to south here across the region, wrap it up across western Oregon as we go on in towards the early portion of this upcoming week. And then maybe a little bit of light precipitation with the next trough. Looks to be moving in on the day Wednesday, maybe continuing through Thursday morning, maybe some showers still ongoing on the day Thursday there as well before we got a change coming after that. Now, daily 2-meter minimum temperature, again, tomorrow morning, look at some of these chilly temperatures here across some of the Oregon Cascades. Eastern Oregon, a lot of 30s out there. Again, the Washington Cascades as well, kind of chilly and raw out here with this upper level low around. And then we go to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We start to bounce those overnight lows back up here. But still, at this time of year, it can be a bit brisk here when you wake up and get out of the tent if you're across the backcountry in the early morning hours. Now, this is high temperature, daily max 2-meter temperature. Shows Seattle maybe getting up towards 63. But look at Portland, right around 59 or 60. Again, the all-time record low high is right around 60 degrees. So as we go through tomorrow, though, we're going to bounce those temperatures back again here, back into the lower 70s, all the way up into southwest BC. Then we go to Monday, warming things up. Look, by Portland, you'll be over 20 degrees warmer, most likely, by the time we get towards Monday. And then we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe some warmth coming up here as we go through the weekend. A little bit of a look at what is potentially to come. Portland maybe getting back up towards 90, some of the Willamette Valley here as well. And some upper 90s returning to some of maybe the Tri-City area there in Boise out there across portions of Idaho. But I also wanted to show this right now. Portland is just about, 52 degrees or so, I believe. Yes, it's about 52 degrees. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to get up towards 60 degrees with this big cloud shield and this precipitation really marching down across the area. Right now at Stampede Pass, it is a, kind of a chilly 38 degrees out there, just enough to get you wet. And, that's hypothermic almost out there. So, yeah, it's not too pleasant across some of the higher terrain, 38 degrees with that rain falling. Looks like Astoria is reporting moderate rain right now as we speak. SeaTac actually reporting light rain last hour also. Now, extended forecast, European, artificial intelligence. There goes our upper level low here. And then, of course, we have to deal with this next trough as we go through this week coming up here. You see, it's not too strong for this time of year, but it's definitely not a heat wave by any stretch of the imagination. But as we go through this weekend, look at that ridge start to build up here as we go through this weekend. Probably bringing us some nicer weather. So if you want a nice weekend, this might be not bad here. And then as we scroll towards the beginning portion of July, we got another trough trying to visit us here as we go through July 2nd. We're now into July 3rd, and maybe by the 4th of July, we start to warm back up again. What is the old saying here across the Pacific Northwest? Summer does not start until July 5th, but then you can see some ridging starting to show up, and maybe we'll get more into a summertime pattern as we head on in towards July 5th. So maybe the old saying will ring true this year as this trough tries to visit us here on the 4th of July, but that next ridge coming and moving in here may start to bring summer after that. But yeah, that's a little bit too far off from the forecast. I wouldn't get too caught up in that just yet, but kind of an interesting look. Now, if we look at the ensemble mean, extended one here, we take a look at what is to come this week. A little bit of a ridge tries to move in, doesn't make too much headway. And then we bring that next weekend there, and that ridge would start to warm us up a bit here. We'd get above normal with that. But then again, the ensemble mean does show that we have this troughing here as we go through the early portion of July, and then what happens after that, still kind of flip a coin, but we'll be watching on a daily basis. The GFS, the drunk uncle that nobody asked for, let's take a look to see what is going on with it. Let's see this trough as we go through the midweek period. You can see that it is evident there, so it does agree with the European on that next trough. And then we go on in towards the following weekend, and you can kind of see that ridge trying to build in here a little bit with the stronger upper level low, that troughing across portions of southern Alaska, maybe far enough away to allow us to warm up as we go through this weekend. And it also shows, looks like there goes that trough as we go into the early portion of July. So maybe after that trough kicks through, we will start to warm things up and start to go back into a more summer pattern. We'll see. 2-meter temperature anomaly. As you can see, there goes our upper level low here. And then as we go towards the next weekend, you'll see these temperatures start to warm up. There you go, right there. So yeah, we may have some nice weather coming up. And the mossbacks, don't love that too much there. But there are a lot of people here across the Pacific Northwest that do like the summertime temperatures here as we move into the summer months. So they will like that indeed. 6 to 10 day, kind of a little bit of a mixed bag here. An above normal signal right centered across portions of Nevada. There's a 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Again, kind of a mixed bag as well. But take that with a grain of salt. We'll be breaking that down on a daily basis. But yeah, anyway, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.